This is episode 6 of Vienna Calling, and I'm here with number 6 of the Vienna Vikings. It's Elmeri Laalo from Finland in his 3rd season with the Vikings, right?
Correct, yes. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And you're just coming out of a bye week. How was it? What did you do?
It was good. It was good to take some time off from football, for sure. Mostly spent it here in Vienna, but then also had a chance to see some Styria and some countryside, so that was nice. But spending time with the guys who were here, some of them went on holidays, whether back home or somewhere even warmer than in Vienna. But the guys who were here, it was nice to do something else than be at Ravelin and practicing too. So swim at the Donau and I don't know, just relax and not being worried. Also, working out was fun because you weren't that sore like normally you are, and didn't really have like a tight schedule when I need to work out or whatever. So it was a nice week.
That sounds lovely, especially because you have a busy season and sometimes you just need some time off. So the Vikings really seem to love their Finnish players. You said you were hanging out with the guys. What is it like to be from another country and then go to Vienna, Austria, but still be surrounded by so many countrymen?
I mean, it's. I think it's kind of a privilege, to be honest. When I got, I mean, there had been Finns here before me. Like Kimi was here in 22, the MVP of the championship game, and I was lucky enough when I came that Karri came with me at the same time. So it was easy to have someone, or it was good to have someone who could you relate to. And Karri had already been playing 1 season in Europe, so also kind of like show the ropes for me. But I mean, it's awesome. We have a sauna at the apartment building. We can hang out, and we can talk our mystery language, and no one really understands.
Mystery language, yeah.
Kind of a made-up language, but
other than Coach Marion, she understands.
She understands.
So you have to be careful.
Yeah.
So did you know any of them before coming here? Because you play the Finnish national team as well. Did you know any of them, or is it all just connections you made here?
No, I knew all of them. Yeah, and like in different levels, of course. I never played with any of them in a club team, but with all of them in national team. And I mean, the circles are pretty small when it comes to a sport like this, especially in Finland. So I knew all of them. I think, Viljo and Karri, for example, and Tony, I played against them. They're a couple of years older than me, but then Timmy is exactly like we're born in the same year. So I think we've been going at it against each other since we were like 10 years old, which is kind of funny. And then junior national team together, played with him U17 and U19 national teams, did the Euros, and then in the past 2 years with the men's national team. But it's still something that is kind of, I mean, Karri was here when I came here in the first year, and last year we had also Tony come in and Kimi at one point on the offense. But this year it's been super cool to be able to play with Timmy and Viljo on the defense. And it's been also cool to get to know them better because we spend so much time together.
Yeah, I assume you also spend a lot of time off the field together. You live in the same building, as you say. You have a sauna.
Yeah.
So
we
lots
do.
of things to do in Vienna with your fellow countrymen. So speaking of time off the field, what other things do you like to do to relax and just get your mind off football?
I mean, I like food. So I mean, it's not the like most wallet friendly thing to do, but I enjoy exploring new restaurants in Vienna, which I think it's a great city to do that.
Did you pick a favorite yet?
No, I can't choose one. I love almost all cuisines, and I'm eager to try new stuff. So eating out, of course, but then also like one thing what all of our Finns, I could maybe speak for them too, is we're missing water when we're here because we're all from the southern Helsinki, or like close to the sea or next to the sea actually. So also like going to Alta Donau or wherever to take a swim when it's like 30 degrees hot here. It's
like right now it's the perfect thing to do, or rent a little boat or something. Yeah.
So stuff like that. Then of course I'm like sometimes, I don't know, play video games with Timmy or whatever during the day, like between our day meetings or morning like workouts and day meetings, and then the evening practice. There's some time off, so just to think about something else. Like, I mean, for the coaches, of course, they want that we watch film and huddle and all that, but
you can't do football 24/7. You need some breaks sometimes.
Yeah. I think it's good for the mind just to like kind of zone off from football for a second, and then you have a fresh mind and you can go back into it.
And you're not only one of the key players in the defense, you also have been chosen a captain this year for the defense alongside Ben Strait. What are your responsibilities, and what does it mean to you to be a captain in this team?
I mean, I think first and foremost, it's a huge honor for me to become or to be selected as a captain especially in a team like this, and with the history of Vikings and Vikings defense. I don't think it's like anything to be taken granted of course, and it's I think it's a huge honor to be like selected there, but it doesn't really. I think it's so that it doesn't really change anything that I do or my personality or anything. I just have some responsibilities that come on top of being just a normal player, but it's nothing crazy. Like luckily, it's like it's stuff that I would do happily anyways. I mean, sometimes you are being like maybe the messenger between the coaches and the players, and if there's something wrong or some concerns on either sides, then maybe you're the middleman in that situation. But it's very cool, and especially the guys who were before me, like Louis, one of my best friends from the Austrians, Louis and Christian Kellner, and guys like this, and Thomas Schnurrer. I mean, to be in that same group, it's pretty crazy to
They
me.
get a lot of mentions in the podcast. Louis Horvath, Thomas Schnurrer, like I feel like they're dearly missed in this team.
They are for sure. I mean, you see them at the games sometimes, and maybe even after the game you see them for a bit. And Louis lives next to us, and we play golf together. And I mean, Thomas, I don't see that much anymore because he lives in Graz, but still, if he comes in town, if he's working here, maybe we get dinner or something. But I think they were a big part of, especially when the Vikings went from AFL to ELF. Those two guys, because they come from different teams, or Thomas came from Graz and Louis was already here. I think they really built the culture of, okay, like what is the identity of this defense, and like what is the mojo of the defense, and like how do we get along together when there's guys coming from different cities and different teams, and also more imports than there used to be in the AFL. So
yeah, and they did a great job.
I think so too, yeah.
And when it comes to like pre-game rituals, maybe as a defense as a whole and with you as a captain, or also individually, is there any rituals that you do before every game?
I don't know. I think my kind of rituals are that I don't have any, because I feel like I like that it's pretty relaxed. I don't like to, like, I mean, of course, putting the gear on, sometimes there's like a specific order, or there is a specific order how I put my cleats on and whatnot, and when do I like tape on top of the cleats. But other than that, I try to be pretty relaxed before the games and not follow like a strict schedule other than the schedule that is put onto the wall for us. Like, okay, this is the time you need to be at the stadium, and this is the time you need to be on the field or whatnot. But I think
no songs or no.
No, I mean, I kind of switch it up sometimes. I had a song when I was growing up. I always used to watch this one YouTube video of this like college football hardest hits, but that's
football hardest hits.
Yeah, it's
just hard hits.
Yeah, I think the title is just college football hardest hits. It's Wiz Khalifa song on the background, staying out all night. It's a pretty sick video. A lot of
I'll try that before my next game.
Yeah, you should. A lot of the you shouldn't like take too much influence though, because I think like most of the hits are illegal nowadays. But
just to get you hyped, I understand.
But I think it's pretty cool in football that there's so many guys that you see in the locker room that, okay, like everybody has their thing, what they need to do to be ready for the game. And I don't think I like it in the way that like no one tells you like, okay, this is exactly how you need to get ready or whatever. So you see a broad spectrum of different ways to get prepared. I think is pretty cool.
Yeah, that was one of my other questions. Are there any other like habits or cool traditions you noticed from people from somewhere else? Like, I mean, a lot of the US guys pray before the game, or is there any other things that you notice that you're like, oh, this is new to me. This is fun. I didn't see that before.
I mean, we have some. I wouldn't say like I've seen a lot of Americans even in Finland playing or being around our club team because of my dad since a very young age. So I've seen a lot of Americans like the praying stuff, like praying, for example, uh, like believing in their faith. That's not new to me, and I think it's very cool that they have like that tradition that they do. But no, not really. I mean, in with the defense, we have our own stuff. I mean, I think it's been even published somewhere sometimes. Like one of our assistant coaches, Valeri, has this thing he does before the game to hype up the guys in the locker room, and it's pretty cool. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere on video already. So
I need to find it and link it if I do, or maybe send it to me.
Yeah, but it's like stuff like that, which was cool for me to coming like, okay, like they have their own culture and they have these traditions that they, I mean, sometimes in the team bus after a game when coming back, there's like a song that everybody sings and, stuff like that. But I think those are like individual stuff. It's individual stuff. And I think that's everybody's own choice. But then I really like that there's also like some sort of like this unity in the defense, and there's some traditions that just stay for years.
Mhm.
I think that's very cool.
So you were already mentioning it after the game. You also have certain traditions. Is there anything like a certain snack, maybe something from Finland that you're like, oh, after every game I treat myself with this?
No, not really. I mean, I'm not a like big treats, like not especially not sweets, but
You're maybe the first football player ever to say that, because
yeah,
usually
I
everyone goes
know.
nuts for the candy.
Oh, I know. A lot of, for example, Ben Strait. He's a big sweet guy. Curry could eat like so much sugar, but I'm more of a salty guy. But no, not really. I mean, I'm lucky enough that sometimes my parents are able to come here. My
Mhm.
mom was here last weekend, and my dad is coming with some relatives also this upcoming weekend to the Rhein game. So my mom brought like a lot of Finnish chocolate and a lot of
Mm.
Finnish rye bread, which is kind of different from the one you get here. So that was cool to get like some taste of home. But other than that, no, I'm not really have like anything specific that I need to eat after a game or something. I'm not really
Easy going.
easy. Yeah.
So you already mentioned your dad before. Just to circle back, you said your dad was involved with your team or like your youth football career a lot.
Yeah, he's I mean, he's always been playing since like ever since I was born. So yeah, he's always been. I've always been around football because of him. He was one of the founders of our club team.
Mhm.
Used to be played for another team in Helsinki before that, like in the 90s. But then they founded the Wolverines. Now he was one of the founders, and so me and my older brother. I have a brother who is 2 years older. So we used to always be around there, like as water boys or whatever,
Mhm.
like going to the away games and stuff like that. And I mean, it's kind of crazy to say, but he's still playing.
Oh,
My dad,
really?
yes, yes. It's kind of, I don't know always what I think about it, but he's turning 54
Wow.
this year.
Did you ever play together with him on the field?
Yes, there's actually one cool picture that I have with my, was we used to have like the Maple League team, and then we had a team in the second division. And I think I was like 19 or 18, and there's a picture of us when my brother, he still plays also. He plays quarterback for the Wolverines in the Maple League. And he was the quarterback in that game. And my dad played O-line and I was playing receivers.
Wow.
It's pretty cool experience. But it's always been like that, very connected. Um, it's always been nice that we have this thing that
As a
connects,
family,
yeah,
yeah.
connects us. And then of course I have different stuff with my mom. She also loves coming out here and support.
Mhm.
But then we maybe connect in different ways with food or
Football is
whatever.
for the boys of the family.
Yeah, so it's kind of different, but it's very cool, and I think it's pretty awesome that he gets to see where European football can be.
Mhm.
Like they were watching the championship game last year, and I think at least it was cool for me that I know that he was able to see that, okay, like there can be 40,000 people watching European football.
Especially when he's been part of building the football in
Yeah.
Europe, right? That's cool. Well, I hope to meet him this weekend.
Yeah.
And you said you played receiver before, but now you're a DB.
Yeah.
When did you switch, and what do you think makes a great DB? What are skills that you need to have? Is it like pure speed? Do you think it takes more film study than other position? What makes a great DB for you?
Okay, I'll answer the first one first. I mean, junior football in Finland is you don't have enough like as many guys as the Vikings academy have, for example. So actually, I probably played every position almost on the field at least for a snap in a game. But what I used to play was I started off as a running back when I was like 10. But mostly the youth career I played in my own age group. I played quarterback, and then on the defense either linebacker or DB, and then the age group up. So like my brother's age group, kind of I always played receiver and DB. But
classic combination. We do that too in the women's league. You're a DB, but also a receiver.
Yeah, but I think it's very beneficial. Like when you I mean, it wasn't fun always to play both ways or the full game, but I think you really get a better understanding of the game. And what you asked about, like what makes a great DB is, I think it's just, I mean, of course the physical attributes are there. Like I think you can have different types of skill sets. You can be like quick guy, or then you can be more physical guy and maybe use that as to your advantage. But then I think all of the great DBs just understand the game, and I think they might have at some point also played receiver, so they know what the receiver is trying to get out of you. They know how they want to move you. So you kind of like, if you've been on the other side too, I think it gives you a better understanding. Okay, like, because it's a one-on-one game, kind of like basketball, similar to that. Like you have to like be on both sides to really understand. But I think there's a lot of different ways to be a great DB, so it's hard to say like, okay, it's just specifically this.
But you're saying if you've seen the other side of it, that's a big advantage because you know what the receiver does. Another question I would have had is there any other position you've always wanted to try just for fun, but apparently you kind of tried them all?
Yeah.
Maybe not O-line, or I don't know, maybe you did.
I have actually played in junior football. I've played some snaps just as an emergency O-line. But no, not really. I mean, I've didn't done all those. So like the special teams, like kicking, punting, holding, snapping, short snaps, long snaps, returning. Yeah, I mean, there isn't really, I'm not really itching. Okay, like sometimes it would be fun in practice, we get to like, sometimes if we're just the DBs, then it's, and we're running routes, like you have like dummy guys, dummy receivers running routes against RDBs. And we're running the routes, so you can kind of go back to that, like like that receiver mode. I think it's pretty fun sometimes, but also can get exhausting if you're running too much. But that, and then of course sometimes it's fun to go back to when I used to play quarterback and throw the ball around. It's
just
nice.
for fun.
Yeah.
And I did also mention it before. You're going to be back at the Finnish national team in the fall, right? And there's 4 teams left. It's Finland, Italy who have the first game. Then we got Germany and Austria. Let's say you win over Italy, Austria wins over Germany. That means in the European Championship game, you will be playing against Austria, meaning against a lot of your Viennese teammates. How will that be? Is that good or bad for you?
I don't know. Is it good or bad? But I've already done it once. I did it in 23 when we played in the final against Austria, and that was after my first season here. I think it was kind of a strange experience to play against. I mean, to be fair, I mean, there was some Vikings guys, especially in the O-line. There was Alexander was playing, Milanovic, and then there was Luki and Clemens and Anton Vegan. Flo Vegan wasn't playing, but there were some guys. I'm sure now it would be even more stranger because there's even more like offensive guys like Noah Toure, you got Yannick Meyer. I mean, Bierbaumer was also playing back then already. You have Niels, probably would be.
Also some Austrian DB that you would not play against because your defense too, but some of your
Oh, a
defense
lot
guys
of
are also
yeah, a
yeah.
lot of in that game in 23 in the backfield there was Ben Straight, Nico Huzard, there was Louis Horvath playing. So yeah, and I think it will be fun. I hope that I wish that that will be the final. That would be super fun to play against Austria again. It was fun in the first time, even though it ended not in the best way for Team Finland. But I think it was just still a very cool experience for a lot of guys. It was a good venue, and I'm sure that this year will be the same. But looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's gonna be exhausting to play the whole ELF season and then go to national team, but you're not alone. There's a lot of guys who
Yeah.
have to do the same thing. What do you think is the difference or the biggest difference between playing in the ELF now and then Finnish local teams that you played in or even national team? What makes the ELF unique for you?
I mean, I think like the organizational side and how everything is run and how many coaches there are. I think that's a pretty obvious difference at least compared to Finland. Like how much meeting time we have together. We actually have an office next to the field that we can watch tape.
A gym that you can all go to.
Yeah, like in
Love those
Finland, you
things.
just go to the field. You know, might not even have a locker room. You just play and then, but you just make it work. But here we have the luxury of having this, and then also we have the time to actually meet during the day with the imports and Chris as being also as the head coach, but also the DB coach. But when it comes to the game, I would say just the speed of the game is just different. The speed is faster, which means that also the collisions are harder. The average, I think, if you compare like domestic leagues like Finnish league or the GFL or whatever league, there's always good players there. But I would just say that or there's players there who could play in the ELF, but I would just say that the average level of is just higher in the ELF, and the schematics are better, the coaches are better. More you face way more complex offenses. Offenses face way more complex defenses. The special teams have at least we put a lot of effort and time into those, which is kind of a new was one of the new things for me when I came here, because usually in Finland you just don't have the time to do it because you don't have that meeting time
It's
so
just
much.
more of an amateur level.
Yeah,
Now you're
yeah. But when it
league.
comes to the game, I would like most definitely say this: just the
Speed, yeah.
brutal speed of the play and the like the level, like how hard the collisions are. They are just because of the speed, and the players are very athletic. All of them, the big guys are athletic, the fast guys are athletic, the smaller guys. So collisions are harder, and it's just a faster game. But I really like it. I think it's very cool to be part of this league.
I used to be on the sideline and hold the down markers in the first year of the ELF. After doing this many times before in like Austrian leagues, the first game I was so surprised how fast it is. You just have to jump aside, but they're coming at you at full speed, and the speed is very different. I was not expecting it to be that much faster. So yeah, you're definitely right. Can be dangerous.
Yeah.
So in the ELF now, are there any receivers or offenses that you think are the hardest to defend, or do you remember like a specific game where you were put one-on-one against one specific receiver or offense as a whole that was super hard to defend for you?
There has been a lot of good ones, I would say. I mean, if there's like specific players that I remember Jarvis McClam from my first year. He played with the Raiders. He was very good. He was very physical when he got the ball. Aaron Jackson, we played against him multiple times, 4 times. He's not in the league right now. He plays in the GFL, but he was very good. In my first year, also Stuttgart offense was very good. It was run by one of the best coaches in Europe, by Jordan Newman, and they had very good talent. They had Louis Geyer, Yannick was playing there. They also had Stewart as the American receiver. Last year in the final, McKnight was very good. I mean, the Ryan Holder receiving core was very good. But I would say also like one thing that maybe is like something that other people maybe don't notice that much, but for me, like a good matchup or always a fun one is when we play against Raiders and I get to play against Richie Weber. the tight end for the Raiders. I think a very like a core guy for them, and like a lot of respect towards him. It's not fun always to play against him, but I think it's always a good battle, and we can always uh like shake hands after a game, even though it sometimes gets physical, but it's never in a bad way. And I just have a lot of respect towards him, and he's a good player. But that's like because I think it's very hard to be a receiving threat, but then also actually a good blocker as a tight end. So I really respect his game. But I could go on for a long time. I think
a lot
there's
of players,
a lot of players and a lot of good offenses that we've faced like Turbo Tate or Tony Tate from Wroclaw a couple of years ago. Like those just there's just these players in this league that are just dangerous, and you need to like take them to account, and you can't like just let them slip away because if you give them too much space, then they're gone. So yeah, but it's also like the best part about this league that you get to be on the same field with those guys who you respect.
Players, yeah.
Respect their game. Yeah.
And Richie, you're gonna face again in a few weeks because you have another Raiders game. So since you started playing in the ELF, what has been your favorite away game city or team that you're like, oh, I always look forward to going to this city or to play that team?
There's different kinds. Like I like going to Innsbruck just because when we go to Innsbruck, I like the stadium. It's beautiful. There's the mountains, and also we usually stay at like this smaller, I would say, village next to Innsbruck, like kind of higher up. Which is super peaceful. There's like a lot of nature there. If we go with the bus, we might stop at Moon Lake in Salzburg.
Oh, nice.
That's
Moon
nice.
Lake, yeah.
But then there's different kinds. I mean, for the first 2 years, it was always fun to go play in Berlin because there was always a couple of Finns playing in with the Thunder. And last year we stayed there with the Finns. We stayed there like an extra night after the game, and because we were able to get like free night spots for everybody because there was also guys playing in the GFL in the Berlin teams. So that was a pretty fun trip and a lot of good memories from Berlin as well. But I think in this league there's a lot of good locations when it comes to football. Like when it comes to the away games, going there. I mean, for example, I've been in Prague I think 5 times because of football, but it's kind of embarrassing, but I've never been.
It's not even far from here.
No, but I've never been in the city. I've always just been at the hotel or at the field and then get back home. So you always don't. I think sometimes people think that we have more time than we actually do. And sometimes there is time, but if you've already traveled, maybe it's the time to just take it easy and chill at the hotel. Yeah.
So another new team in the league is the Nordic Storm. Brand new this year. They say their aim is to attract both players and fans from all the Nordic countries. What are your thoughts on that team? Are you hoping for a Vikings Nordic Storm matchup sometime?
Yeah, I think it would be super fun. They say that if they say that they want to attract players from the Nordics, but they haven't signed a single Finn.
Yeah, we have all the Finns here.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. I think they have a lot of UK guys as the imports, but there's a lot of good players there, and I would really like that. Like for example, like if they would be in our schedule, I think a good trip to Copenhagen. It's a nice city. Also, I mean, Xavier is playing there right now. A guy who I played with for 2 years here, like a very impactful player, I would say, in my career, and also. Not personally, no, but I like know of a lot of the Swedish guys just because we play like Nordic championships sometimes with the national team. So even in the U17, we start playing in Sweden and Denmark. So there's guys that I know of from a long time, not maybe personally, but I've played against them. So I think it's cool to see them that okay, now they have their own team, and I think what I've seen from them is they've been doing very good. And
yeah,
I think
still undefeated, just like the Vikings.
Yes,
the only 2 teams that are undefeated. So
I think they're doing very well for their first season. Yeah.
So that would be a nice face-off, maybe one day. But let's look at this upcoming weekend where you're playing the Rhein Fire again. They're coming to Vienna, and they just won their last game after losing 2, I think. What do you think is going to happen this weekend? What are your expectations?
I would say that my expectations are that it's gonna be a good game. Like either ways, either of the result of the game, it's gonna be a good one. There's two good teams going at it, like it was in Düsseldorf. Um, and it's gonna be a lot of fans. I know that at least when I checked the stadium, the ticket map to buy tickets for my family, it was pretty full. Like there wasn't too many left, and I know that at least what I've heard is that there's gonna be people also from Düsseldorf or from Rhein fans coming over, which I think is super cool. That there's gonna be also a presence from their fans at the stadium. But yeah, like they had couple of losses, and now they are coming off from a statement win against Hamburg, which is probably always I think like a kind of a big matchup with them because they're pretty close to each other there, and Hamburg has been in the league for a while too. So I think they got like a confidence boost out of that. They did some changes in the coaching staff.
Yeah,
I think they have a new offensive coordinator this week or already last week. So it's kind of hard to say, like when you watch the film against Hamburg, there might be some stuff that wasn't perfect for them. Maybe some new play calls. They probably want to install something new for this game. So, but at the end of the day, like it's Rhein Fire against Vikings, but at the end of the day, it's one of the games, and you just have like it's in the schedule. You have to play it.
show up and deliver.
Yeah, and it's like we can always like go like so and so long about the other team. What I think what it comes down to is what we do. What we do as a defense, how we play our football game. Of course, there's stuff that we need to match up and take off from the other team, but we need to be able to execute and play physical football like we've been doing this year. And same goes to our offense. They need to be able to drive the ball, score. Our special teams need to be on point when you go against a quality team like Rhein Fire.
So yeah, that's in a few days only. We last week on the podcast were giving away tickets for that, and you have to draw the winner of that and see who's gonna be in the stadium. No cheating. I hope you can read what I
hope so too.
There.
Oh, this is not the easiest name. Franziska Ott.
Well, that's kind of easy.
Yeah. Congrats.
2 tickets for you. Thank you. So you're facing off Rhein Fire on the weekend. Is there any other regular season schedule game that you're like, oh, this is what I look forward to?
Oh, like still this year?
I feel like all the highlights were kind of packed or condensed into these few weeks now.
Yeah, you could say that, but we still have, for example, a home and an away, our first away game, and then
Paris.
Home game is our last regular season game. It's the home game, but we're, for example, gonna travel to Paris. I think that's gonna be a cool experience. I've been there once, not for football, but I think it's gonna be fun. I think they've shown this year that they're a very good team. I think that's gonna be good. Also, next week going to Innsbruck, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, I think there's a lot of good games left. Wroclaw, we go there. It's always tough. Super hot.
Yeah.
In that there's like the dirt field around the turf. It's hot. They're a greedy team, and also some like players. There's one Estonian player who plays now there who I know from past, so that's gonna be cool. He's a receiver, so it's gonna be fun to play against him.
Matchup.
Yeah, but I kind of look forward to all of the games. The football season is so short that like you kind of have to embrace
every
game. Yeah.
And you always have a couple of Vikings fans traveling with you as well. Do you have a favorite fan moment of the past 2.5 years playing for the Vikings?
It might be hard to say just like one. There's been like countless good interactions with the fans, I would say, and that was like one of the coolest things. What I noticed when I got here in 2023 was that the people actually care. Like it sounds funny and it's like sounds like
football has a long tradition in Vienna.
Yeah, but it's like that they really are passionate about it. Whether it's that with like whether negative or positive, but at least they care. Like that's the biggest part. That is like sometimes I feel like lacking in, for example, in Finland and the culture is that like you go to a game, it's mostly your parents and some other people like friends, whatever. But here is like there's these passionate fans who actually care. They've been going to games for years. They really want to know what's going on in the team. They're very interested in meeting the players after the games. I think the coolest are always the kids. It's like it's kind of still strange for me to like like some kid wants that I like sign their cap or shoe. Then sometimes I have to ask like, are you sure you want to ruin your cap with my signature? But
ruin is harsh.
Yeah, but it's like
upgraded.
Yeah, I remember one kid had a like fresh pair of shoes, and I said I can sign anything else, but I'm not gonna like because you might end up regretting it, or like your parents, you might go home and they're like, what is this? So
you didn't sign the shoes.
No, but then we found something else to sign for him. But those are always cool. The interactions after the games, and I think it's fun because even when we're at a away game, we usually go to the crowd and whatnot. So then it's cool when you like when we were in Düsseldorf, and then all of a sudden, like after the game, I mean, a lot of people leave, but then a lot of the Rhein fans come down to like the lowest possible place at the stand so they can say hi to the players, and then you go through like a lot of Rhein Fire fans, but then all of a sudden there's like some purple in there, and it's just cool to see. Sometimes they're like parents of our players, which is also cool to see them. But then also they're just passionate fans who just want to travel with the team, and I think it's very cool.
Beautiful. And you were just mentioning signing things. This week we're gonna give away a Vikings hat. They're brand new in the merch shop, so we don't even have them here right now, but they're new and they're being delivered, and they will be sold at the merch booth at the game on Saturday. But we are giving away the very first brand new Vikings cap, and whoever wins it can have you sign it or not.
Yes, of course.
If they want to. We have a question, and if you know the answer, you can send it to podcast@viennavikings.com. And then in next week's podcast, we're going to choose a winner. And the question is, and I'm going to have you read it, this one.
Okay, so the question is that how many Finnish players are currently on the roster of the Vienna Vikings?
Do you know the answer?
I know the answer, but I don't want to give it away right now.
Well, I would have to probably research. I'm not quite sure, but you can research and you can send the answer to podcast@viennavikings.com. And then next week, we'll choose a winner. And if you want, you can have Elmeri sign it. And even next week's guest, wherever that is going to be. And yeah, we'll choose a winner and make sure you get your new Vikings cap. Lastly, I would say we all hope to see you on Saturday at the Generali Arena. There's still some tickets.
Yeah, go buy them. Come to the game. I think it's going to be a good one. Good experience like the Vikings home games are. There's a lot of stuff to do other than just the football. There's
a big pregame area, and there's going to be challenges, community talks, and everything before the game. And then the stadium opens at 5, and kickoff is at 6 p.m. And then you're going to play Rhein Fire and hopefully get us another Vikings win.
Yes, we'll try our best.
Great. Thank you so much for being here. And to everyone out there, pussy papa. Vienna calling. Move it! Jump, jump.